While I really enjoyed Alien, Romulus, there are aspects of the movie that make me nervous about the franchise, reflecting on the mistakes of another massive sci-fi saga. The long-awaited continuation has already been hailed as one of the best Alien movies, with many even drawing comparisons to Ridley Scott's original 1979 classic. I completely agree with that assessment, though I don't think there's a particularly high bar for being one of the better movies in the franchise when almost every installment has received such a divisive response. When analyzing why Alien, Romulus was so successful, many reviewers have cited the faithful homage to the first film. Romulus takes place shortly after the original, and it makes several references to Alien and other movies in the franchise, providing audiences with a gratifying sense of familiarity bolstered by modern effects. Utilizing elements fans already know and love is a surefire way to get the franchise back on track. What I'm most concerned about is where the Alien franchise heads moving forward. Alien, Romulus has a lot in common with Star Wars: The Force Awakens movie. The Alien franchise follows a similar pattern to Star Wars. My first thought when exiting the theater after seeing Alien, Romulus is how much it reminded me of the experience of seeing The Force Awakens almost a decade ago. These are enormously different series, but entertain me as I break down some broad yet notable comparisons. Both sagas had a lightning-in-a-bottle original film in the 70s that created an enduring audience, with a direct sequel that shifted the series' tone and raised the stakes in a certain way. Both series saw the original filmmaker return decades later to expand on their mythology with a set of prequels. Prometheus and Covenant received widely divisive responses upon their release, especially regarding how disparate they seemed from the originals. Yet, years later, audiences seem to be coming around on both films out of respect for the broader lore and grander ideas Ridley Scott was developing, though still acknowledging that the individual movies had some kinks to iron out. There's much in common with the reaction to the Star Wars prequels. So now we get to Alien, Romulus, a film that's learned from the response to the prequels and tries to reset the franchise back to its foundational form. While The Force Awakens draws from A New Hope's formula, Romulus relies heavily on Aliens. The similarities between Rain and Rey are hard to ignore, especially in proportion to Ellen Ripley and Luke Skywalker. We've seen initial love for the movie, but this formula can quickly grow tiresome if it doesn't try to find its own identity. Alien, Romulus sequels can't repeat the Star Wars sequels' mistakes. Alien, Romulus sequels can't rely on fan service and references. Emperor Palpatine's resurrection in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Alien, Romulus already has an advantage over the Star Wars sequels in that it's not explicitly planned to be a trilogy. Viewers aren't anticipating any specific arc, and we haven't been left with any mystery boxes like the identity of Snoke to spend the next 2 years deciphering. Regardless, Alien, Romulus box office success likely means more movies for the franchise coming soon, and the inclination will be there to continue following the formula that worked. After all, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That logic can apply to a great many things, but not to movies. There's no theater experience I hate more than one where I walk away feeling like I haven't seen a single original idea. The Alien franchise is on the precipice of a major turning point, where it can take the Romulus momentum and construct something fresh and extraordinary, or it can play it safe, rely heavily on references and old characters returning, and eventually fizzle out. Of course, that's a drastic oversimplification of what went wrong with the Star Wars sequels, but consider how underwhelming it was to see Lando in The Rise of Skywalker.